G'day YouTube, how the heck are we doing? It is Foul Play here. Back for the third match of this Pauper leg. Not running so hot at the moment with the 0-2, but I'm going to improve things here in game 3. We lost the die roll into what's possibly a Dimir deck, so it's not a great start for us already. We'll go ahead and Utopia Sprawl because Silhana Ledgewalker is our only creature. And we have no other play. Alright, Cycles Ash Barrens. Is this Familiars then? Familiars we might be able to beat. Alright, plays Mountain. This border is terrible. I despise that border. What the heck? Alright, well, we hit a mana source of sorts and can Silhana Ledgewalker here. So let's go ahead and go for that one. Looks like Silhana Ledgewalker resolves. I don't have them on Spell Pierce because I think they would have Spell Pierced turn 1 instead of Ash Barrens. I think we can utilize this right now just to give a point of toughness, just in case we're running into like main deck and the festivities and something wacky. I'm already not sure what our opponent is on. Okay, it's Izzet Faeries. I've never actually played the Izzet variant of this deck. It's really interesting. Brainstorm. Yeah, I've been playing the format for like 3 months now, I think it is. Haven't versed this once. It's absolutely wild. I had people like telling me to change my sideboard specifically because of this deck. Because I had Scattershot Archer in it, and to change from Freewind Falcon to Crimson Acolyte. So that we didn't get run over. All right, so probably the best course of action here is going to be to double Ethereal Armor. Our opponent will be able to block our flyer. Maybe I should probably be prioritizing Trample there, like 1 first strike, 1 trample. What? He concedes? That's so odd. Why? Alright, so this is sort of what we have our opponent on an Izzet Faeries deck of sorts. We can see the Ash Barrens there, we can see Snow Mountains, Snow Islands. All that makes reasonable sense. Creatures in this deck include Fairy Seer, Augur of Bogles, Moon Circuit Hacker, Spellstutter Sprite, Crimson Fleet Commandeer, which is a new one to me, ETB of You Become the Monarch, 5/2 Trampler. And Ninja of the Deep Hours. So mostly like a traditional blue or blue-black fairies deck. Only they're not running the other 1-mana fairy. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So this one got Snap. I'm not seeing any Snap here. I'm seeing Fire Eyes, Counterspell, Spell Pierce, and the Bolt effects. This one has in the Electricity in the sideboard. It could well be in the festivities. There's also Curfew to worry about, which could be an issue for us. Fiery Cannonade for a sweeper too. Reminder guys, if you do enjoy the video, please consider subscribing for more content. So I could bring in Crimson Acolyte. I guess if they have snaps, it's probably slightly weaker than Silhana Ledgewalker. Slightly better into the sweeper effects though, unfortunately. So puts us in a bit of a funny spot there. I think Crewfix's Insight's going to be good with a deck that's trying to grind us a little bit for value. I don't see reoccurring Spellstutter Sprites being an issue, so I think I'm okay being a little bit more top heavy there. Gutshots can kill the Spellstutter Sprites our opponent puts up in response and help spells resolve. I don't think we want to be playing like that. I think we just submit like this. 2 cards should be enough. I don't have Scattershot Archer in this sideboard. If I did have it, I would definitely be bringing it in. Actually, maybe it's not even a definite here. It only hits 2 creatures. There's no Delver of Secrets. There's no other 1-mana fairy. Yeah, okay. Alright, so our opponent has a mulligan to 6, and we continue our wonderful hand luck with that absolute beast of a hand. So we'll mulligan to 6. Go ahead and keep this one though. This is a tough decision on what to bottom here. I think the play is bottom a creature, turn 1 Bogle plus Cartouche off the Lotus Petal. and then hope to top deck enough value to build a big enough creature, because the hand doesn't play very well into counter magic, and we do have to worry about things like Flaring Pain. Sorry, things like End the Festivities. And Electrickery. So I don't want to play into any of that. Or just circumvent it. I guess into a deck with Curfew as well, we could also consider bringing in our Young Wolves. I think that's probably overboarding. Depends on how many copies they are running. All right, let's kick things off by attacking. All right, so opponent uses Lightning Bolt, so it's pretty good. Sideboarding Training will run into Spell Pierce in this spot. I think it's good enough to avoid their Spell Starter Sprite and their Counter Spell. Looks like we resolve that. We draw a card. We're in a pretty strong position now because we have a 3/2 First Strike Trampler, and we are ahead on board presence. They can't really interact with these things very well. All right, so naturally, we've drawn a lot of land and creature sources. The creature could be helpful. I'm going to go for damage here first. So we'll play this one to play around Curfew, specifically. Opponent has Counterspell just to stop that one dead in the water. That's fine. Opponent plays an island. 2 cards in hand now, so they are very much low on resources at this point. Ice tapping down our planes. Yeah, that's cool tag. Probably a bit loose, me playing out that one there. Let's go ahead and add attack. Also, like, if I hold the planes in hand and play one of the forests instead, it's the same, like, upside of resolving your lands and things like that. But it might make my opponent think that we didn't keep any white mana, and that we don't have access to Ethereal Armor and cards like that. We can't cast them if they're in our hand. Opponent with Preordain, 1 top, 1 bottom. Second Preordain, both bottom. 3 cards in hand currently. All right, let's go ahead and Bogle here, see if our opponent responds. They do not. All right, so this is bad. I'm playing this into Spell Pierce now. It looks like I have the counter spell, so not really punished. That's hard because I don't want to play this out, then play the second Bogle, and then while Bogle's on the stack, get blown out by Curfew. Still, we are winning on the deck currently, and there's not much our opponent can do about that. Ooh, opponent with Fiery Cannonade. All right, well, there we go. That's a pretty good one, opponent. I'm just going to concede and go to the next game. It's probably too far behind at this point. We'd have to hit like creature into auras and nothing comes back from the graveyard. Assume our opponent doesn't have any counter magic interaction. Just a few too many like situational things there, right? All right, well, maybe I will bring in the Crimson Acolytes. Maybe that was being overly hesitant. We didn't see Snap in this list. We'll check a couple more and make sure there's no Snap. Upon further inspection, there is no Snap, so I think this is perfectly reasonable and probably should have been done in the previous game. Got blown out there by Fiery Cannonade, not having 3 toughness. There's potential to board out effects like Rancor and Sideboarding Training for things that give us power and toughness, but that's 3 mana, like maybe 1. Rancor comes back from the grave in a pinch. Sideboarding Training draws a card. Like, it's for mana value purposes, let's go this. We got the Crucifix's Insight for value. Anyway, all right, let's hope for a good game 3 here. This is great. You know, we can get to 3 toughness, so I'm happy with this. I think we do play a bit conservatively here and turn 1 Utopia Sprawl. Yeah, it's just going to be important, right? Important to not play into End the Festivities if that should be a sideboard flavor card they are going for over Electrickery. Preordain, 2 cards to the bottom. So really good because we hit like good curve here, a good tempo. Let's like throw this one over here. This can go on green to make the most of the mana in our hand. So now we can Bogle, Using this one, Ethereal Armor there. And probably resolving the Rancor is the best here while they're all completely tapped out. So this should be a really, really strong position to win, and it's going to be hard for our opponent to interact with this. Because we got like these effects past counter magic, we got good toughness. Really, really pleased with what's going on at the moment. All right, let's go ahead and attack. I'm assuming our opponent is holding up Counterspell. I don't really feel like throwing Abundant Growth straight in front of a Counterspell and giving our opponent that tempo. Let's hold it in hand. If we draw an Aura next turn, we can look to double Aura and get past things. So there's Spellstarter Sprite. This would have got chunked up easy. All right, so Preordain and now from our opponent. Still no red mana currently. 2 cards to the bottom here, 7 in hand. There's the red mana. So we're playing around Spell Pierce at this point. So this is a much better spot for Abundant Growth, right? Ninjutsu, Moon Circuit Hacker, sure. And Crewfix's Insight. Yikes, don't mind if I do. That sounds amazing, deck. Let's go. We'll just jam that one right now. Interestingly enough, we brick on 1 enchantment, which is fine, but we can only resolve 1 enchantment here, which is kind of funny. Locked out on green mana with 1 white mana source in hand. I still think it was correct to tap the way we tapped. All right, so Faeries here now from our opponent. Both cards to the bottom, 7 in hand still. Attacking for 1 point of damage. Getting that loot effect now. And loots Ash Barrens, plays Brainstorm, concedes. I mean, we got 10 power, we got Trample, opponents on 3 life with 1 toughness on board. Probably winning there anyway. All right, well, that was a pretty interesting match there. We just completely steamrolled our opponent on tempo. I think in the first match, the Daryl helped a little bit. I think we won that, right? But they did prematurely concede. No, we lost the Daryl in the first match. Yeah, so that premature concession probably helped us out quite a bit. And game 3, we just absolutely unleashed with a really, really rapid Utopia start. Thanks so much for watching, guys. As always, let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Was this long waited Izzet Faeries deck matchup worth the wait for you all? Anyway, have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.